Thank you for availing me this opportunity to contribute a little bit. It's true, the situation is similar across East Africa region, but not only East Africa. Africa and the world at large, we are swimming in the same pond. If you look at what has happened, you've just mentioned the newspaper issue. There is this science disruptive innovation which has come in place. The innovation as it came, it disrupted the newspaper industry. And most people are skeptical that maybe newspapers are dying, but the reverse is the truth. Newspapers are not dying. It started the same for books. People were professing that books were going to die. But currently, the number of books which are sold is on the rise. And if you look at the recent researches, even newspaper sales are going up. Like in USA alone, in 2000 was the peak year for advertising. Newspapers collected around 89 billion US dollar. But come 2020, they collected 9.6 billion USD, a fall of 514%. But currently, it is peaking at the pace of 7.8%. People have come to realize that those who are advertising online, the adverts are not ready or watched by the readers. Even we can start the research from here within. When you are reading a story and an advert pops, are you skipping or just watching it? The kind of your response indicates that very few of you are reading those or watching those adverts. You skip. So the question of science communication, specifically for our countries, my thinking was we better talk of why we are at loggerhead, the media and the scientists. Maybe there is communication breakdown. We are all pulling from each other's end without pushing to come to the center. We all have to know the media. I'm not sure our scientists know the media. Yes, they know. If you ask them today, they will say, yeah, there are newspapers, there are television stations, there are radio stations, there are online social media. But ask them who are running these media houses. Do you know any editor in those newspapers? Do you know any reporter in those newspapers, TV, radio stations, whom you are going to send your research findings for publication? I'm not sure the answer is a big yes. Yes, partially you might be knowing some of them. Do you have rapport, working relationship with the editors and the reporters to the level of calling each other after midnight and say, hey, my friend, tomorrow I'm publishing something, get ready. And it is embargoed. We have come across so and so findings. Make sure you prepare yourself well. Do you have such kind of working relationship? Do you trust each other? Or you are just preparing your press release? You are going to hold a press conference, a 10-page press release, starting with the information, procedural information, the methodology, and then at the end of the statement is where you put the findings. You start with the literature review at a press conference. Now it is happening. We are attending some press conference for scientists. They start with the literature review, where it came from, what has happened, the methodology, how they have reached there. So for the media, I said briefly there that we are looking for news, not information. Someone tried to challenge me. But again, he was making the same mistake which I was trying to help him to get out of it. We want news, and the rest is information which can come as a background to the news. So if you start telling the procedure, at the end of the day, journalists will run away from you. In newsrooms, we are using inverted pyramid principle. The maximum you can have a best press release has to have 5 paragraphs. Now you come with your 10 pages. Hello? So the first thing to do, know the media. Know the workers of the media, the journalists, the editors, each other. Make sure that you have rapport. Apart from that, know the technical issues. Yes, you have got very good findings. The time for holding press conferences is in between 9 to noon. But now you are calling your press conference at 3, while the editors are sitting for the last meeting, editorial meeting. So the reporter comes in at 5, while the editorial meeting has been held. The briefing is done, and that will be scheduled for tomorrow, and tomorrow another thing occurs or happens, then they will reschedule it for a feature article, then comes in a good feature article, straight it goes to the bin. And you say, journalists are not good people to work with. I have said it, separate the information from news. News, you want something punching. What, where, how, when. Its impact, timeliness. Let's say, if you say you've invented the production of electric by using ocean waters, that's what the public wants to hear. The procedure, the methodology, you spent 10 years conducting the research, it's not a part of their interest. Are we together? So you may find my friends from the research institutes, they want to tell you how the mosquitoes were breeded, how many years they spent. Like someone said, it can take up to 8 to 10 years to come up with something tangible, which can be spoken, can be taken to the general public as news. So there is a question of timeliness here. 10 years, even the span of expectation will have gone. I understand the distortion concern. The distortion concern can be sickening. And distortion comes with knowledge. It starts with rapport. One-on-one meeting can help to curb or to reduce the level of distortion. If you have got that kind of working relationship where you can call each other and say, okay, we are releasing our findings in the next fortnight or in the next 2 weeks, and then you give the background information to the reporter in confidence. That reporter will work on your findings, will come back and forth to you and ask where to improve, where not. And actually, we have got ethics about embargo. Today, you come and confide me something about your findings and say it will be published in 3 months' time. Rest assured, get assured, you won't hear it anywhere. You won't see it on the social media. But now the problem is each and every institution wants to hold a social media account. And at times, they use bots to hype the number of followers. So internally, these guys whom are managing the organization's social media accounts, they use bots to look they are doing well before their bosses. And the bosses, when they are shown numbers that today we have got 150,000 visitors, you walk laughing and saying, okay, now we are doing fine. Remember, if you are a peasant producing tomatoes, for the tomato to access the market, you have to take them to the market. You cannot sell your tomatoes in the farm. Very rare. You will get customers who will come for wholesale. But customers who are farming from different districts, they will all bring their tomatoes to the market, and from the market, the buyers will pick the best tomatoes. So even the news, the media is the market for news outlet. It's either you go with newspapers, you go with radio stations, you go with the TV, you go with the professional social media outlets. But company social media, I can tell you, the public relations officers, they want to look, they are doing a good job. They will boost your accounts. You look doing well, but at the end of the day, very rare you'll get a feedback. So distortion, we are equally concerned, and we are looking at the panacea to curb distortion within our media organizations. One, we want to bank and invest on training. Like we are here, we are very thankful that this interaction we are having here, it will help us at least to get out with something. I think the organizers at the time of starting, we filled in the forms of our level of understanding. And some of my colleagues, I was trying to peep, they were being unfair to themselves, indicating they are 100% perfect. I said, then why we are here, if you are 100% sure of what we are going to learn here? So I gave myself a conservative rating. I was giving myself 25. Whenever I think I'm 80, I give myself 50 to leave the room for learning. So we are here to learn, and we aim at specialization across East Africa. Eastern Africa Editor Society, if there is something that we want to put forward, is to make sure that we go to the level of specialization. We get science reporters who are scientists by profession, but trained to become reporters, trained to become journalists. We should reach a point whereby we have lawyers who are reporting stories related on law. We have scientists who are reporting science issues, and that cannot happen without training them. When you go that route of specialization, at the end of the day, we are sure that there will be a high level of collaboration, the working relationship will improve, and mutual understanding will ensue. The last thing we can do is taking back the stories to the sources for them to edit, bringing it back for publication. You know what happens? If I bring back the story to you, in it there could be some information. I'm not saying news, some information which you wouldn't like it to go public, or some news which you wouldn't like it to go public. At the end of the day, you will chop it off, and from then, censorship takes role. So to avoid censorship, to give editorial independence, let's train our journalists. Let's train our editors. Let's have working relationship. Let's bridge the gap of mistrust. Let us trust each other. Let us value each other. So at the end of the day, we'll be talking the same language, and actually science is everything. About 2 weeks ago, I was in South Korea. I understand your concern, and I'm concluding. I was in South Korea. I was asking myself, why are we pushing so much in East Africa currently to establish automobile industry, automobile factories? You find like in Kenya, they are pushing, in Rwanda they are pushing, in Tanzania we are pushing for automobile factories. Cars are no longer big business. Science has helped the Southern Koreans to embark on what is called semiconductors technology production. Semiconductors earned them 93 billion USD last year, South Korea. Their economy is 1.6 trillion US dollar. But out of that, 93 billion was earned from semiconductors. So if semiconductors are made in Kenya, are made in Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, East Africa here, it won't discriminate once fixed in the aircraft that, this one was made at the Silicon Valley, this one was made at Seoul, this one was made in Kenya. No, it will fit and run the aircraft. Our sciences. Allow me to challenge you. I know you have colleagues. Some of you might be working in different areas of specialization. can't we think of going to this high tech? Can't we help our economies in our countries by going to the researches which will give findings that will help our countries to leapfrog poverty? We can jump poverty. Asian countries have jumped the poverty. So thank you very much. We are ready to collaborate. Let's work together. We will strive to make sure that our journalists are specializing to avoid distortion, and we are sorry. We know how it causes inconveniences. Even me here, once I'm misquoted, I know it doesn't augur well. It can't go down the throat properly. Thank you very much.